Hello, how are you? My name is Francis Fox, and I've been trained in all the psychic skills, part of a military mind control program, very abusive. I think I'm getting closer to being compensated because you see, the person who controlled me for many, many years, which is not the one who's in hiding now, um, my control, not my hand is hiding. I don't know. I guess one day the subject came up of why I was never compensated for anything. If I had to fly someplace um, to do something for the government, I had to pay for my own airline tickets, and It didn't get reimbursed, believe me. But he explained to me one day. He said, "No, no, no. You're too important. If we pay you, they're going to be able to track the money. In other words, track it back to them, the government, a secret part of the government." And that's exactly how they're able to take down a lot of people today that Elon has uncovered and probably Trump suspected. And they're able to track the money. So, see, my control was right. We can learn a lot from the mind control program. I'm trying to teach you what I learned, what I think might be important for you to know. The same way I tell my followers, I'm able to teach, and I'm pulling together a program having to do with white magic, but I'm able to do it because I've seen so much black magic, which brings us to the important subject, which is what the hell happened with Elon and Trump? What happened? Well, because I said it yesterday and I plastered it all over the place on X, that when I sketched, I'll review it quickly. Elon and Trump, this is black magic. These are my documents on the issue. Black magic. They were in love, somebody cut it, and then both of them separately got taken down with black magic. Now, and then at the end, and I was sorry that I put it up. I'm not sorry I put it up because it's the truth. Somebody gets mad at me, they can get mad at me. I sketched this at the end yesterday of one of my chats on this subject. This is Trump, and he's like in shock with his mouth. This is Elon. Oh, this can be representative of one of the types of black magic they did on Elon, which would be to bury him. I think that this is probably an exhausted Elon. And brings us to what I tell my followers because it is what I have been. And maybe you need to listen to this also, Trump. When you're a martyr, which means you're willing to give your life for others to help them out, generally at the end, you need to get taken care of because you went above and beyond. Most old ladies who are martyrs, oh, take my money, son, just don't worry, just buy yourself that house or take my car or whatever. And then they need to be carted around, they need to be taken care of. Maybe these two men are just doing too much. Yeah, oh yeah, the situation demands it. Yes, it does demand it. But if there's not balance, eventually you're going to get taken down. And I don't think there's enough balance now. The good thing with Trump is that he loves to golf, which is outdoors, which means earth energy, which repairs. It's in the Lord's Prayer. Elon, I don't think, does that enough. But maybe he'll do it from here on out. And then I asked the Dolphins, and the Dolphins said, this will correct. I said, that'll be a miracle. And they said, it'll correct. I'm going to read it. It's easier. I went Elon and Trump, and I did this yesterday. And the Dolphins said, easy goes it. No, Trump did not. The freak offs. He was with Diddy. No, Trump is not part of the Diddy group. He hates dirty. We know that. We just know that from Melania. Somebody accused him of something sexual that was like a little iffy. Yeah. And she said, that's a lie because I know my husband. He doesn't like stuff that's dirty. And then they continue, the Dolphins. No, Trump did not do this, nor did Elon. And they said, cool down the heat and it will reverse. And I went, that's a miracle. And they said, yes, because what you see is based on lies. So let's go into the heat thing. You do remember, you don't remember, Saturday with my group, I sketched this because I could feel something and I could see a group, the spirits of a group of men, Cuban mafiosos, in my hallway wanting to get at me, just like after Watergate. We need info, we need info. They're not supposed to. I don't want to work with them. Dot, 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 dot. They're spirits. This is not a movie. This is not a movie. This is real life. And you don't know that people can do that, but they can. It's in the Bible. It's all over the place. So, anyway, but the problem is that apparently on Saturday, somebody must have gotten arrested in Florida, or they found out about arrests, because when I sketched what's going on, what I sketched was Florida got broken and then a portal opened in the Gulf of Mexico. Why there? I don't know. And it says arrests. This is the beginning of a lot of arrests in Florida. So their rage, and I sketched this while they were in my doorway. I have proof. I just realized. Broke the Higgs field of Florida, opened a portal in the Gulf of Mexico. Not good, because the ocean floor is collapsing. Too much fire. But that, where they broke that, this is the helpful friends section of the United States, which means that unless this gets repaired, and it's getting repaired, the Dolphin says it's going to get repaired, it's going to get repaired. Unless this gets repaired, all of us in the United States are associated with the United States. Okay? We were born here, we're American citizens, we're American, whatever. We will have too much rage with our helpful friends because of this group of people that know that they're going to be arrested. So let me show you something. That's my hallway. That's where Adam Schiff would stand doing some of my chats. That's where my handler has stood a lot of times. That's where on Saturday, a group of these very experienced mind control abusers were on Saturday demanding my time, because my attention, my time, because they wanted to ask me questions. And look what they did to what was in my hallway, which is the whole point. Okay? Helpful friends, fire, destruction. This is my hallway. That plant fell over on Sunday. What day is today? Friday? Maybe it wasn't Sunday. It could have been Monday or Tuesday. That's my hallway. Where you step up, that's exactly where Adam Schiff would stand. That's a lot of my followers could see during the chat, because they know how to do remote viewing to a certain extent, especially if I guide them there. That is where my handler would stand many times. Their energy is so bad that this, you can tell that this is an extremely healthy palm tree. I have another 5 around my house. They're all fine. This, you can see it's healthy. It just fell over because of the bad energy. So you got all these bad people in Florida. Now I'm realizing that connection. And they can take us all down, having to do with helpful friends. That's from the 3,000-year-old Bagua map that has to do with feng shui. Feng shui? I think I never remember how to pronounce it. So yesterday, before the chat, I sketched this, which is good. The heart, the tears. Florida was better. We still have the protection, because if you get enough people hating, you lose the protection of the Galactic Federation, because your frequency goes down. We didn't lose it. I didn't do a sketch, but maybe I'll do it now. Here's the trick. The Bagua map can be placed on top of your body. That was a discovery that I made. And that's the importance of the connection between your destiny and your home. If there's a part of your home that has a haunting or that you didn't take care of, or the roof is leaking, that affects your destiny in the area that that map corresponds to. And this is the map, and I'll go over this part quickly. So here, if you go to the bottom, you go to the C, holistic, you go to the C, go up, that's the entrance of your home. Go to the right, that's helpful friends. Put the US map on top of this map, and you have Florida and Georgia as part of helpful friends. Okay, but we already know that. You can put that on top of a map of the United States, but you can also and should put it on top of a map of you or a human being, at which time helpful friends lands in your left leg. Oh, Francis, you're getting boring. This is too long. I don't get it. Do you have a left leg? Yeah? Well, then maybe you need to listen, because guess what the left leg channels? Female wisdom. And it also channels the element of fire. So when this happens, and I don't think this feud between Elon and Trump started on Saturday morning, because this was Saturday morning. This is fire. Kills female wisdom. You also have male power, right leg. So this would have diminished what happened with another group of people on Saturday, affected Trump and Elon, having to do with wisdom. Isn't that interesting? But that's with you too. So if you walk into your home and you immediately go right, you need for that space to be really good, because you need that wisdom at a time in which everybody's like a little bit nuts. It is in a process of repair. This is in a process of repair. And in a couple of minutes, if I feel like I'm okay, and handling this chat okay for you, because I want you to be happy, then I'll go ahead and sketch today. This one was yesterday, which I was shocked that it looked so good. And this was so much better. So I'll do that in a couple of minutes. So we need to defend Georgia and Florida and Elon and Musk if we want for this country to be run by, to be governed by, to have a rooting and grounding in wisdom. We need to take care of that part of the country. And I suspect you're going to find there's an awful lot of yuck stuff going on, which is not wise, so that we can have helpful friends. It's a lot, but it is a map that doesn't change for 3,000 years. And you can control your destiny more fully if you're aware. Look what happened to my plant. Now, did I know that there was such a bad energy? I knew bad energy had been there with these guys, their astral spirits being there. Did I know that it had stayed there? I had gotten some hints that there was something rolling around my apartment due to my level of fear, and I hadn't really fully taken care of it. We're going to be fully taking care of it. So when it comes to life on planet Earth and wanting to be a master, you have to, when you have a problem, you can't be pointing fingers at other people. That's not mastery. That's the victimization of human beings throughout centuries. You're supposed to ask, why did I need this problem? So let's ask that now at the deepest level. I'm not going to be revealing secrets. Well, why did we need this problem? Well, this problem brought us into our awareness that the Florida thing is really important that it be cleared, which Trump is in the process of clearing. But this is certainly bringing our attention to it, which brings our attention again to the Gulf of Mexico, where the ocean floor collapsed, but where I, for months, have been sketching there's something going on in the Gulf of Mexico. There's something going on in the Gulf of Mexico. Maybe we're going to pay more attention now. So, causal, having to do with the elements. What happened between Trump and Elon? There was an excess of fire in the Helpful Friends section of the United States, which would also mean that after this happened Saturday morning, and I can look up the exact time because it was a chat, so it'll be there on YouTube, everybody in the United States would be affected by this. How did this affect the people from the, like Bondi and the other people that work together? They have their own agencies, but they work together. It would have created havoc. This is getting clear today. Yesterday, it was much better. So causal at the level of elements. It is an excess of the fire element that could take us all down and destroy our helpful friends relationships. At a level of astrology, Gemini, Trump is a Gemini, and they need constant change. I'm Cancer Gemini. I'm totally aware of that. Geminis can get bored quickly. They need change. They want new, everything new. Elon is a Cancer. I'm a Cancer. That's the main part of me. We grab onto things and we keep going, and we keep going and we go back. We're controlled by the water element. Gemini is controlled by the air element. They're not so compatible. So the Cancer Elon, Trump Gemini are not that compatible. They have the rest of the chart that could make them very compatible. Obviously, they love each other a lot. And there's obviously, one day I'll look at their past life relationship. It's got to be incredibly strong. Okay? It's great. So we have a person that doesn't need movement, that grabs something and stays and stays and stays and gets it done, Elon. And then you have somebody that wants to do 20 things at one time, which is Trump. So at some point, that comes up. The doing things in a very different way. So with Trump, it would be like, next. And with Elon, it would be, how much further can we take this? And what are we doing with this? And this guy over here, which is Trump, is, but look at what's over there. So there's some astrological issues that would have played out part of it. Then we have the black magic. I don't know how many times I put my graphics up on X having to do with the whole black magic thing. Everybody that asked about the whole, what's going on with their advice, whatever, I would put the graphic on. Black magic was used to take down the relationship. And then I'm telling you all these other things that give an explanation. But when I took this paper and said, I want to know what's going on, I'm not necessarily going to share it, but I want to know. And this is what I got. Yes, there was love. And it's interesting because the love is more grounded, see, with Trump. And less grounded with Elon, but Elon's not grounded because he's always thinking and he's about space and all the rest of that stuff. So these are all unseen factors. These X's are black magic. This is a cut. I know entirely too many people that have ended up in the wrong place with the wrong people because of black magic. When I see it in couples, it breaks my heart. I lost a very valuable relationship because of that. I tried in many different ways to let the person that I knew, which was the male, let him know in one ear, out the other. And self-esteem does not let people even consider that somebody could do that to them. They're master of their destiny. That's the point of black magic. You're not master of your destiny. And the reason why they can do it is because you have a break in you. And in this case, with Trump and Elon, the break was what happened on Saturday in Florida when somebody found out, and then too many found out that they were going to probably get arrested. So you're broken. Somebody does black magic. You don't believe in it, and you are in charge of you. Nobody can do that to you. You don't even feel it. Like I tell people when I do purifications of black magic, they say, "Well, what am I going to feel?" I said, "I don't know what you felt when they did this to you. And when they did this to you, you didn't feel it immediately. I'm removing this. You're not going to feel it within some people do feel it the same day when they have a lot of stuff, a lot of black magic. You're not going to feel it for a little while. But when you look back, you're going to go, wow, what a difference." So the black magic thing, I'm not going to stop talking about it because those people, the cult people, the Diddy people, the weaponized intelligence community that worked with the mind control people like me, all of them know how to do. They don't necessarily know themselves how to do black magic. They know how to pay for it or who to go to. Okay. And they also know that the people that are getting hit are not going to know that they were hit unless they're really sophisticated. And as I said yesterday, when I have had clients through the years that have had some connection to politics, people from other countries that are not into politics at that point, but have been around it and it's important, whatever. And they keep, like I had somebody that used to call me, "What's going on with my brother? He's not doing well again, and what's going on, Francis? Tell me." And so I'd sketch and I'd say black magic, and they said, "Yeah, but you were supposed to take care of that." I said, "Yes, I did take care of that 2 months ago. This is new." And the person would say, "Wait a second, you mean I have to pay for this again?" And I said, "No, you don't. You asked me what's going on with your brother. I sketched it. You trust me. You know that that's the case. It makes sense because you know enough. You don't have to take care of it. Just let it go." Well, I can't just let it go. And I remember that at the end of my relationship with that person, I said, "Listen, you're a very wealthy person. If you actually think that you are going to be in that position and your brother is going to be in that position where everybody's watching him, everything that he's doing, he was a politician, etc. If you actually think that you're not going to get hit by black magic continuously," I said, "there's something the matter with you. You know. I said, so don't do this to me again. You ask me a question, I answer it, and I don't want to hear the litany." I'm sure that if the brother was told that, he would have said, "Don't worry, just leave it. Look, I'm fine." No, you're not fine. You're a different person when you have black magic. That has got to be taken care of because why did the whole Diddy thing, how could that have gotten that bad? We got people that we kind of know, we felt, and then no, we were wrong. We kind of know that they were kind of decent people. How did they get all caught up? Shame is a big part of it. I agree. Black magic is another big part of it. I am in awe at how powerful the black magic, how powerful the black magic that was done in this country, and I'm only limited here is probably every other place, having to do with awareness about sex trafficking. I think you have to be kind of low IQ to look at what happened at the border to where they would separate the kids from the parents and not go, why are they trying to isolate the kids? What are they doing with the kids? It was several years before people started asking that question. That's black magic. That is black magic. You're not dumb. You are velado, which means you have veils over you. And what are we in? revelations, which means the lifting of the veils, which is good because we're going to be able to see everything. And then we fall into the Mayan prophecy that at the end, the really big problem on the planet is not going to be the big problem on the planet is going to be people, regular people, individuals, whatever, having to deal with their dark side and not being able to handle it. And that is what's happening with the whole sex trafficking thing. You can't reveal the dark side of everybody that was a military mind control victim. Because I know they didn't do the 30 years of therapy that I have done. When I went to therapy, I said to my therapist, oh, yeah, well, I said, okay, so let's deal with this. And they would say, no, but look what they did to you. And I said, you don't understand. What's going to kill me is what I did under the influence of black magic. That's what's going to kill me. I can't take it. Yes, but there was a reason. You were mind control. I still can't take it. Okay, that's me, mind control victim. But there's a lot of people, the whole Diddy thing, they were also mind controlled. All humans are good people. So the whole black magic thing that is now blown up in our face with the thing with Elon and Trump and the veils over the sex trafficking, the veils over from day one, them separating the kids from the parents. Where are the kids? Oh, okay. They don't say, oh, okay. Black magic. It's like a veil that goes over them. So we're going to, on Monday, we're going to have the protocol for dealing with emotions so that we can make it through this time, because it is the emotional reaction of the person that realizes something about themselves and they can't deal with it. Well, all you have to do is do a little purification mantra. Even though I'm stupid, I love and accept myself. Even though I should have never said that, Trump and Elon, I love and accept myself. Even though I should never said that, I love and accept myself. You know what the good thing is? No, you guys shouldn't have said that stuff. But when you do that mantra enough, you take on the energy, and it's not left there for the rest of us to say they should have never said that. It's gone. And from what I have been told by my masters, and I see that that's true, once you take care of a problem, your part in it, your reaction to it, you're not going to have that problem anymore. It's going to be gone because you don't need the problem. And apparently, whoever set up the system of being humans at this time in written human history, they set it up to where if you did your homework, you get liberated. And the techniques are simple. What that mantra, even though I should have never said it, I love and accept myself. And then you have to make sure that you don't have too much fire. Both these men had too much fire, legitimately. No. It's not that. Both the men have too much fire because of what the things they have to deal with. And then they break this, not them. The guys that are calling each other and showing up at my place, they're spirits, because they know there's going to be more arrests. Too much fire changes personality. The first thing it does is it gives you insomnia. Then it makes you anxious, which gives you the insomnia. When you have too much vitality, you can't sleep. Too much fire gives vitality. Insomnia, frustration, anger, rage, emotional violence, physical violence, murder, suicide. So when you see somebody committing suicide, they have too much fire. Now, what gives us too much fire today? Cell phones, Wi-Fi, 5G. So we have to work on that, and we can. And I have some great plans. As soon as we can get everybody out of my way, I think I'm no longer feeling helpless having to do with balancing the elements in the United States. They can be balanced. There needs a little creativity that's beyond my ability, having to do with technology, but it can be done, and it's going to be done. But you have to do it in your own homes. That's why all of our videos have all that water. So I'm finished. Monday, I'm going to have the protocol. I'm very comfortable with my analysis of what happened with Trump and Elon. Oh, that's great, Francis. You're so good. No, you don't know how much that affected me and how much that has affected all of us. The joy that we have all felt watching these two men relate got wiped out, but it didn't. It got put down. Somebody tried to destroy that relationship with black magic. At the same time, it was made vulnerable by the feng shui of the map of the United States, which is also where Trump lives. That makes it like a double whammy. That means that we really have to have that part of the United States doing very well so that we can all have friends. You do notice or remember where 10, 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, when the weekend came, we were all ready to just shower, change clothes, and go out or have people over and go to barbecues and do stuff. And what are we doing this weekend? People don't do that anymore. And what do they usually say, which they don't even say that anymore? Well, I don't really have very many friends because that part of our body, the left leg, has implants put in by galactic enemies. I'm going to close it down here. Let's go ahead and do a mantra. And we're going to do a mantra for reducing fire in the United States. And we're going to use the video that has the cascading glacier waters. Okay? So the mantra is going to be, oh, no. The Mayans said, the Dolphins told me, the Dolphins gave me a document about how to survive end times. And it's the stage that we're going in now. And the first paragraph of the document included the word protection from cannibalism. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. Meanwhile, I'm talking to the Dolphins. I'm not doing this. This was maybe 20 years ago. They gave me this document 15 years ago. And so I put the document up without that part. Well, you know what? I have to go back and find that part. Why? If you didn't listen yesterday, I think it was yesterday where I confessed that for 3 nights, somebody's using psychotronic weapons on me and beaming into my head that I am to kill my pet, who I adore and would give my life for, and also eat him. That's the whole Cuban mafia, black magic, Diddy thing. They're beaming it into me. Okay, so I finally said it. Okay, so this morning I get an email from one of my followers who's very clear-headed, and her kid told her that spirits talk to him because she has educated her children on spirits and say that they should kill her. Well, if you go to my website, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, I have an article called Galactic Kids. I'm trying to figure out how I translated the name, Galactic Children. And it says there, because I started to give some little events, and the mothers of the small ones would come up and privately and say, my kid says something tells him at night that he's supposed to kill me. Or my kid says I'm supposed to kill myself. And another woman said, but they don't say it to each other. They said it to me, said, my kids say that that if I don't do what they tell me to do, they're going to kill you and dad. So that there's another wave of that, and that is the trigger point for a lot of people that are doing god awful things. The whispering in the ears of spirits, that's in the Bible. I don't have the quote here. Maybe I'll try and find it now while you're doing the mantra. We're just going to do the hate mantra because that reduces the fire. Because you see, you could be the most loving person in the world. If you have too much fire, you will hate. I'll put we. Hate I love and accept myself. This is the mantra. You repeat it in silence and you expel the breath through your mouth. And we're going to do 7 minutes. Right now, figure out how you feel from 1 to 10. 1 is you want to slit your wrist, 10 is you feel great. I'll put the white dress on for 1 second. You'll see how shiny or not shiny it is. And then 7 minutes, and then you go back. I should have these problems. We look great. Galactic Federation protection. Florida looks great. I am not a positive psychic. On the contrary, I think people years ago used to say I was very negative because I would focus on problems because I wanted for people to know that this was a problem. Maybe they should take care of it. Um, so I'm not a positive psychic. When I sketch, and it's, I can withhold a sketch, not show you, but I'm not going to sketch something I don't see. This is great. Now, my whole Mantrista movement, everybody, I did like 3, 4 separate videos with them. I even created a video for this that's now running on YouTube to reduce the fire of the conflict. Reduce the fire of the conflict. This looks great. I'm not saying that I did this. Okay. I'm telling you what I contributed and what my movement contributed, which is a movement that I think it's not a group, it's not an organization. You don't have to be identified. You just do mantras and you learn how to balance the element as I'm able to teach you as quickly as possible. This looks great. And then Trump's wife's name is here with an exclamation point and a smile. I think that she may have been whispering in Trump's ear to get this taken care of. Not whispering in his ears like sometimes we do. I don't really like that person. No, 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 no. Get this taken care of. So I could be wrong. And I've never mentioned her in anything. I've never sketched her. I'm not supposed to. Why this would come up now? Maybe because it's important that we know this. Trump is a male sign. Gemini is male sign. She's, I believe, a Taurus, which is a female sign. Elon is a female sign. I don't know. This is beautiful. This is good. The Dolphins said it. I said, that'll be a miracle if this gets fixed. And these are their exact words in response, and then we finish. Exact words, cool down the heat, and it will reverse. And I went, a miracle? And they said, yes, because what you see is based on lies. Look, that's what the Dolphins say. I love it when I can get validation of stuff that's from the other dimensions that it's not so easy to get even me to accept. Okay, so I hope everybody has a great weekend. If anything really big happens, I will let you know. Get that Bagua map. You can find it very easily on the internet, thousands of copies of it. And I have it in my book, Sex, We Need to Figure This Out. It may be like the most interesting chapter. You know why? Well, read the book. Okay, that's it. Thank you for listening, and thank you for sharing if you share. We're up to 9 people. Nice. How did we reach this point where everything used to be one big lie? And the veils have a lot to do with it. Those veils, but not the veils that were part of the plan for the planet, but the veils that the black magicians know how to put up. Thank you.